back. Woo!
Hello, hello.
Dru's divine and fine to talk about what's my line. Did you write that? 9, you swine. Did you pay someone to come up with it? You can go where the sun don't shine. Isn't that kinda where you always go? Rude. No, you're a vampire.
You're never in sunshine.
Oh, right.
Who sent that in?
Rod Rocky Watson. Rocky's sign-on is rock solid.
I like his name.
What's on a name? I get it. Watson. Elementary. Hey. Cool. A Holmes ref. I sure had a lock on that joke. Shall I go into some BTS?
Please.
Yes, bring it Holmes. Hey. After being cast, I had some creative discussions. One of them was about Drusilla's prosthetic makeup. The consensus was that her mold should be somewhat pretty, more feline and delicate than the others, otherworldly. After that was decided, they sent me off to the lab optic nerve for my very first life cast. A life cast is done so that they can make an accurate replica for the makeup designers to work with. They apply this goop over your whole face with 2 straws in your nose so that you don't suffocate. You have to wait till it hardens and then it is taken off. I arrived at the lab on time. I sit in the chair and I chat with Mark. He asks if I ever have had a life cast. No. Am I claustrophobic? No. He starts to get everything ready, and as he starts to apply the gunk, he must see my expression because he asks if I'm all right. And I joke, I didn't think I was claustrophobic. He laughs, and he is so nice. He starts to talk me through it. He tells me that a few days ago he tried to cast John Travolta, but John freaked out, said he was too claustrophobic, couldn't do it, and left. Once everything is applied, you have to wait till it hardens. He asks if I want him to keep chatting to me, and I say, yes, please do that. He literally talks and almost pets me in a nice, calming way, not at all in a lecherous way, through the entire process. Petting. I have this moment that proves to be a wonderful life lesson. So the thing is, it feels a bit like being buried alive. And as I sit there, I begin to visualize this fork in the road, 2 paths. I think I could go down this way and completely freak out, have a meltdown. Or I could go the other way and not do that. I could stay calm. And I think, okay, I'm going to choose this path, the calm path. It was revelatory. I have a choice, even in moments when it feels like I don't. I have carried that lesson with me through the rest of my life. At the moment when a life cast is taken off, it feels a bit like teeth impressions in that, you know how the sensation is that your teeth will come out when they pull? It feels like your skin is going to come off. As Mark begins to remove it, I flash on James and I think, James had this done yesterday. And then I think, okay, I saw him earlier and he still has skin. Who's this cute little guy? It's my Drac Spookling Bat plushie from Love Pollution, made by Daisy. Can I play with him? No. Drac is still very shy and only likes me to cuddle him. Perhaps when he gets a little older, if you do some really good minioning. I'll be gentle and careful. Dear simple minion, I must say no. You are not versed in the ways of Love Pollution bats. Well, I really want one. Look at how well made it is. Every single item is handmade from the best quality materials. They're like special memories. Daisy has an array of other special products too. I'm looking on the site and there are so many cool products. Dru, they have one here called Spooky Doo Bat. Oh, and this one, Halloween Spookling Bat. Oh, I want to get this. And this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Come, Dracky Bat. Our work here is done. Let me introduce you to Miss Edith. The website is lovepollution.com. Our listeners get 10% off with the code REVAMP10. All caps, no dashes, no spaces. REVAMP 10.
Synopsis. A brief summary or a general survey. Don't quote me, but I just love to compile, collate, posit, and then conclude. I'm summary gal. Yup, that's me.
We continue with part 2 right where we left off. Angel is trapped and about to face the sun. Spike continues preparations for curing Drusilla, and Buffy and Kendra are finding out that 2 Slayers can be too much. Can the Scooby Gang and its new member save Angel and put a stop to Spike before he revives Dru?
The second part of What's My Line is again written by Marty Noxon. It is directed by David Semmel. We pick up with Kendra and Buffy facing off.
As similar as their fighting styles are, their personalities are complete opposites.
Yes, polar opposite, although they become closer during the course of the episode. The sun encroaches. Angel is suffering.
David really does a good job of looking pained without, overdoing it. Just enough tension from the light, and seeing him weak and drained has us holding our breath for when we see somebody standing over him.
I like the musical score in these angel sequences. It's kind of a Gregorian moan chant. When Kendra says she has no last name, Buffy mentions the 80s. This is a reference to Cher, Madonna, Prince, Enya, Sting. I just want to share. He. That would still do. Beyonce, Eminem, Rihanna, Adele, Pink, Usher, Cher and Madonna still. And most importantly, Drusilla. When Buffy tells Kendra, back off, Pink Ranger, do you know what she is referring to?
Power Rangers.
That is right, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's also an inside joke because Buffy's stunt double, Sophia, was Pink Ranger actress Amy Jo Johnson's stunt double. Her husband, Jeff Pruitt, the stunt coordinator on Buffy, was also the stunt coordinator on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Interestingly, the original Black Ranger, Walter Jones, later guest stars in Season 4 in Fear Itself. Giles puts together that Kendra has been called since Buffy technically died. It's unprecedented.
Buffy has a moment considering if this isn't out for her. Can she step away and have a normal life for a while?
I hate to admit it, but Giles is rather cute when he's flummoxed. When the show cuts back to Angel, again, the score is very cool here. Willie the Snitch unlocks the gate. Angel is weak. I hate seeing him like this. You can't tell at first if Willie is going to help or hurt him, but you figure that he won't directly hurt him because even though he's a lowlife, he's the go-between kind of guy, not the violent, active leader type of guy.
True. He shows up just in the nick of time to drag Angel out as we see the light inching closer and closer and draining him.
Normally, he couldn't touch Angel. He'd be no match. A blip, a speck, a crumb. Yes, a jot. We get it. This sewer set was Bill, and it's great. It's really memorable. But most important, my Spiky comes and does a bit of business with Willie the Worm. The Snitch. The Itch.
Not his nickname.
You're right. Willie the Bitch.
Still no.
Willie the Snitch. Well, it's not a question of Willie Snitch. We're not asking. It's what he's known as. What is of note is Spike is waxing poetic.
When?
Using the old phrase, guts for garters.
Disgusting.
Such a beautiful image. And practical too. How? Using guts for garters. You must give it a try. No, thank you. The earliest known example of that phrase originated as a literal and violent threat of disembowelment in Robert Greene's The Scottish History of James IV. This was in the late 16th century. "I'll make garters of thy guts, thou villain." Is that your Scottish accent, Drew? Perhaps. The phrase is in The Bride of Lammermoor by Sir Walter Scott, published in 1819. "He that would not pledge me, I would make his guts garter his stockings." It's mentioned in Paul Beale's update of Eric Partridge's A Dictionary of Catchphrases. This is one of many shirtless scenes for David. He's lying there all spent. He almost looks post-coital. On the Angel set, I remember David would try to go to the gym on the Paramount lot at lunch. He talked about it being hard to keep up the energy and stamina to do the lunchtime workouts with the workload.
I've known a lot of actors that will try to fit in workouts whenever they have some downtime on set. It's a level of dedication that I do not have, but I can tip my hat to.
I was a dancer, so I do have that. I feel weird if I don't exercise, but it is hard when you're shooting really long hours. It's a perfect choice that Severio makes as Willie, counting his money at the end of the scene. He's a character that will do anything for money. Cordelia tells the Bugman that she is both a winter and a summer. The winter and summer makeup and fashion concept, also known as seasonal color analysis, started with an interpretation of color theory that was popularized by guidebooks like Carol Jackson's Color Me Beautiful in 1981. The system categorizes individuals into one of the 4 seasons based on their skin tone, hair, and eye color, with each season having a specific palette considered flattering for clothing, makeup, and hair. Winter palettes feature bold, cool, high-contrast colors, while summer palettes are gentler, more muted tones.
In the 80s, when this came out, there were articles in marketing directing people to quizzes about which season they would fall into, and companies that had infomercials selling cosmetics all based upon if you were summer or winter, spring or fall, and the fact that apparently you could wear any of these regardless of your skin tone. I found out the hard way that was not true.
What colors could you not wear?
Pastels look frightening on me.
Really?
It brings out all of the yellow undertones and makes me look really sickly.
Oh, I can't wear yellow at all. Yellow does the same thing for me.
Mm.
I always look at blondes with blue eyes, and yellow looks great, but yellow's definitely not my color. Although, I'm actually sitting here in a yellow t-shirt, but I'm at home.
I was gonna say that, like, I can find a shade of most colors, but yeah, especially in the 80s when pastels were so popular, anytime I put on something in a pastel shade, I just looked sick. It wasn't pretty.
People will be like, "Are you feeling okay?"
Yeah, what's wrong? Nothing.
It's just
Thinking
my
I look
powder
cute.
blue. Fashion winter and summer seasons originated from seasonal clothing changes influenced by weather and were codified by Paris couture houses, which began showcasing biannual collections. The Bugman explodes, or rather devolves, into his maggoty self. Lava and worms and maggots, oh my.
A very off-putting Wizard of Oz reference.
We are back to worms. But Willie is not called Willie the Worm. No way to worm out of it. He.
Scooby Dru.
How does a worm eat when its mouth hurts?
Okay. How?
It just has to suck it up. He. What's the best advice to give a worm? Sleep late. He. Ah, got it. Early bird.
Not bad.
What happens to a worm that digs in the earth? Indigestion. He. Aww. The rivalry and tension between the two slayers plays like sisters, each vying for attention, competing for their spot.
Some of the very issues that Buffy has been wrestling with are seen in a very new light. Now she wants her job back. Again, all set against the backdrop of the job fair at school.
Willie is so sleazy with the quote-unquote high-class nude photo ask. I told you Willie the Worm was appropriate. Point taken. Then, Then we have a close-up of you, Drew, sleeping through the lace of the canopy bed. James was actually late that day, a not usual occurrence. I remember I blocked the scene with his stand-in. James and I had rehearsed the scenes from What's My Line Part 1 at my house, but we hadn't had the chance to rehearse this Part 2 scene. It was a bit odd to block it in bed without James, but we had to try to maintain the schedule. Grave Robbers from Outer Space card game is the game where you create your own B-movie and have a blast doing it. I love my movie's title this round. The House of the Vampire Goddess and the Annihilation of the Naughty Minion. Since I'm not your minion, I like it too. Alright, my cute vampire girl attacks your aged vampire hunter. Time to make him a ghoul to serve me. Diamonds are a ghoul's best friend. Come on, Drew. You always drag out your turn. I'll discard his sharp stake, but your cute vampire girl is now dust. Not so fast. I play Hiss and Flee, so she's safely back in my hand. Fair move. Secretly happy the vamp is okay. How many characters do you have left? 3. My prom queen, the bookish girl with no boyfriend, and a big bad wolf. Why? Oh, plot twist. The doomsday device goes off. Everyone dies. It's really weird, Drew. You always seem to get that one. I did say. Annihilation of the naughty minion. I'm not your minion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And guess what? What? I win. Again. The link so you can see how to play the game and get your own sets of cards is graverobbersgame.com. The 10% discount code for our listeners is Re-Vamped. All one word, small case, no dash as our title has. Just Re-Vamped for 10% off at graverobbersgame.com. In our What's My Line 1 Part 2 episode, you brought up the bruises on Drew's arms, and I mentioned that I'd talk about that later. Well, here we are. Todd McIntosh and I had great discussions about the makeup for this two-parter. He came up with the arm bruises, and I immediately loved it. It was brilliant on 2 levels. 1, because Drew and Spike were referred to behind the scenes as the Sid and Nancy of the vampire set. The arm bruising is consistent with drug use. It's the junkie tell. Sid and Nancy had them. And 2, bruising is often blood-related. It seemed to me that a vampire illness would indeed be related to blood. I also told Todd not to alter the rest of my beauty makeup, that I would do it with my acting. It was very different from a character I had just played on La Femme Nikita. That character was dying of cancer, and the makeup reflected that. For Drew, I felt that she's supernatural, and so she should still appear otherworldly, and that as an actress working with the physical symptoms of her illness, by the time we shot and I'd been preparing, my makeup would show that. In other words, I would look more pale than usual and unwell by the very virtue of the physical illness I was creating.
Well, I think it worked beautifully.
Aw.
You really see how your ballet training comes into hand in this episode. The use of your arms and back arching all feed into your frailty.
Thank you. And lots upcoming to say about the arched back when we discuss the church sequences.
Also, I really loved that opening shot of Drew through the lace. The choices of colors are so interesting. Drew is in that bridal white, signifying both her rebirth and a callback to her initial innocence. Meanwhile, the lace being beige and aged, showing a distant time and decay.
Ooh, I love that. I had a dream about Paris, a branding iron, and worms in my baguette.
Sounds like you had a good time.
I affirm, more worms and more squirms. But Willie still is not called Willie the Worm, even though he should be. I'm even weaker than the previous scenes in the first part of the two-parter. I'm weaker.
Spike calls you his black goddess.
A bit understated, but sweet. Goddess is an understatement? I'm too sexy for my love. Too sexy for my love. Love's going to leave me. It's kinda perfect for Dru. Continue on, all together. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
And
I'm too sexy for Milan. Too sexy for Milan, New York, and Japan. Okay. That song was huge. It was released in 2007 by Right Said Fred. It's very catchy, especially our rendition.
You really are not modest, Drew.
A little humility goes a long way. My friend model Kate Mould disagrees. Kate Moss? It's my nickname for her. She doesn't mind? Mould, Moss, 6 of one, 14 dozen of another. That's not the saying. You are such a stickler. Hey, do you know when the word stickler originated?
No, I don't.
It originally appeared in the 1530s, deriving from an older word meaning umpire or mediator in a contest. The modern sense of a person who insists stubbornly or unyieldingly on a point, rule, or custom was recorded by the 1640s. Yes. But my point is, how you said it doesn't add up. The point is that Kate Mould and I, even though beggars, we differ with you. I beg to differ with you, but I have a feeling these misrepresentations will just go on and on and on, so let's get back to the episode.
Good idea.
We find out that a ritual is going to take place when the full moon rises that night, that Angel will die and Dru will be restored. It sort of cracks me up that in the shot that moves as we kiss, we can see both Angel and Miss Edith. They are tied up, their mouths are bound in the same way.
I was wondering, how well planned was that?
Well, I think that's just the way that Dru binds people, and Spike does it too. I ask to have Angel till the moon rises. I ask. James infuses this with a lot. Spike is visibly jealous, but recovers. We can see this is unexpected to him. He's hurt, and then he seems to adjust. We see him justify to himself that it isn't a big deal. He goes from lover into caretaker mode, telling Dru to be sure not to kill him before the ritual because he is the key to her cure.
I felt like in this moment, we really get to see that I think it's more than just his jealousy. I think he's concerned about Dru's lack of control as well.
Oh, well, that might be so. Angel's been a very bad daddy. Is that why we slap him? That and flogging is fun. Angelus introduced me to the pain-pleasure principle. The pain-pleasure principle is about avoiding pain. Well, that's silly. We get some exposition from Giles and Kendra about the two Slayers working together until the Dru/Spike situation is resolved. They discuss Dru's planned restoration to full health.
He describes Dru as mad and therefore unpredictable and extremely dangerous.
So complimentary. Save for the mad bit. Buffy calls Kendra John Wayne because she always wants to unabashedly rush in to save the day. There's more jealousy building between Buffy and Kendra. Jealousy plays a big part in this episode. Buffy didn't even know there was a Slayer's handbook. Giles likes how well-studied Kendra is. You have still not picked up Renfield's rules, the Minion's handbook. I am not a minion. Keep telling yourself that. Giles likes that Kendra is a bookworm. More worms. I told you worms were a through line. You did. Stop worming your way into the conversation. But I was the one talking, always trying to wriggle out of it. He said. Career week comes up and Buffy again pines for a normal life. This whole sequence is a massive walk and talk. It starts with Giles, Willow, Buffy, and Kendra, then continues on with just Buffy and Willow. They are essentially walking in a huge circle on the campus. The only part where there are cut points is when they stop for a little bit. Otherwise, it's a long Steadicam shot, perhaps shot in 2 parts, one before they stop for the chat and one after Buffy and Willow continue. Xander and Cordy fight.
We are building tensions between the two of them. They're getting louder and closer to each other. They're pretty much on top of each other.
Cordelia says she'd rather be worm food. What did I tell you? Sitting in a bunker here behind my wall, waiting for the worms to come. All together, and you too, listeners. Sitting in a bunker here behind my wall, waiting for the worms to come.
In
perfect isolation, here behind my wall, waiting for the worms to come. Drew definitely gets us to learn a lot of new songs because I didn't know that one before.
Yeah, it's one of those that you listen to and you don't necessarily sing along to. And now I see why.
I don't know what you guys are on about. The over-the-top swelling music when Xander and Cordy kiss is funny. I like it. Willow references Oz's change of hair color. This stemmed from Seth Green dyeing his hair for other roles. The writers incorporated his changing hair color into the show as a running gag. Oz talks about an E-flat diminished 9 chord, which is a complex chord that adds a flattened ninth to an E-flat diminished triad. Did you notice Buzzy's boo-boo? Yes. At the career fair, when the faux policewoman calls Buffy's name, Buffy has a white bandage on her finger. It's not there a few seconds earlier when she talks with Willow and writes her name on the sign-up sheet. It remains through the subsequent scenes in the library and Willie's place, then vanishes for the fight in the church. Did you notice it?
I did. Things happen. Sometimes you need to call in some first aid.
Patrice, the assassin posing as the policewoman, is played by actress and stunt performer Spice Williams Crosby. Spicy. Kendra intervenes and joins the scuffle. Jonathan is taken hostage for a moment, although at this point in the series, Danny Strong is billed as hostage kid. Oz gets shot. Giles calls him this Oz chappie, better than Chippy. In the music, the praying mantis teacher from Teacher's Pet is referenced. We interviewed Musetta Vander, who played Natalie French in a previous episode. Xander closes a book and squashes a bug in between its pages. In the close-up, the book is gray with the title Biology. Then, in the wide shot, the book has a plain brown cover. Did you notice that continuity issue?
That I did not notice.
Aha. Very interesting. Buffy is thankful to Kendra for coming to her aid.
They both start to see the value in each other.
Yeah. Buffy tells them that Angel Sire drew, so he is the one at risk in the night's ritual. For the next scene, we had a short window in which to film it. In the schedule, I was extremely focused. I felt it was an important scene, not only about the present, but it filled more in of Drusilla and Angelus's past. When we finished, I was so in it, and I wasn't sure it was such a strong scene. I wasn't sure I had captured all of the dimensions that I'd wanted to. James and I would always discuss and dissect our scenes afterwards. I remember he had this wonderful expression on his face. He said that he was blown away, that it was the kind of acting that was the reason he wanted to be an actor and extremely rare work for television. It was really, really nice. A funny thing, though, happened with this opening scene. I'd been working at least 12 hours. They needed the insert shot when I stroke and pick up the case with the holy water. but they wrapped me because they needed me back in the morning and they didn't want to cut into my turnaround, as it's called. They said that they would use a crew member and shoot it without me. I said I was happy to stay off the clock and shoot it. In fact, I really wanted to. I have distinct hands and I thought it would work better, so I pleaded to stay without pay to do it. But to no avail. The more I asked, the more it became evident that it was not going to happen. So I asked them at least to make sure they used someone who had long, thin fingers. When the episode aired, I was watching it with the cast at my house, and this small hand with much thicker fingers comes into the shot, strokes the box, and the whole room bursts out laughing. And it turns out that the production office got tons of letters from fans calling it out. Like the rest of me, my hands are distinct. Iconic. There's that humility again. Drew-mility. After we shot all the bedroom scenes, I was told that the network censors were viewing it with an eye towards making cuts for standard practices and ratings. I began to wonder if everything would be cut, or if the sequences would be gutted. I had no idea what was going to be in and what was going to be out of the final episode until it aired live. I was nervous watching it, and what was wild was that they left all of the overtly sexual, S&M, bondagey, kinky stuff. The only thing they cut were a few religious references. So, straddling, tying up, growling, burning David's naked chest with holy water, all okay. But religion was a no-no. I found that very interesting.
Very interesting.
I wasn't surprised. Drew's music box theme is very effective in enhancing her fragile, magical, off-center state. I talk about Mummy and the way he killed her. You do. Tragic. I had fun with the blocking of the scene. He's chained, and I'm circling him. He's caught in my web like a black widow. It's more active and entrancing than it would have been in one spot. More Drew-mility. It reminds me of a movie I did, which is called Fatal Reunion. The climax scene is where I confront someone and I hold him at gunpoint. He was also bound, but not shirtless like David. This was an 11-page scene which took place in a warehouse. When we went to block the scene, I asked for a chair or a crate, and the director asked why. He thought I would be standing. I said, I have the gun. I have the power. I can appear casual, and then I can build to standing. It would give us somewhere to go. Otherwise, I won't seem threatening for 11 pages. This is a cat and mouse game. The cat has the mouse. She can take her time and toy with the mouse first. The chase is over. It ended up working really well.
A lot of times you'll watch something and there isn't a buildup. We're just in the middle of danger, and that's kind of where we live. But I think it's far more interesting with that movement, and we get to experience either cat-like motion or spider or snake. There's that buildup before they strike. And it's kind of hypnotic for the audience to be lulled into this passive moment before something really jumps off at them.
Ooh, I love that. In this scene with Angel, Drew is whispery, sexual, and torturous. She's angry. This scene is filled with their history.
There is a joy and control that we haven't seen in Drew until now. Talking about her mother and how Angel killed her, we really see that madness and rage that she's been carrying. We also find out that there are 43 churches in Sunnydale.
Get off. 43 positions in a one-night stand. Get off. I only call you after if you say I can. I think Prince's lyric is 23 positions in a one-night stand. Yes, he was conservative. Prince?
That's not how I would describe Prince.
Me neither. Buffy mentions pineapple pizza. Do you like pineapple pizza?
No, I think I feel very, very strongly against pineapple pizza. It makes no sense to me at all.
I do not like pineapple pizza either. I am with you on that.
My favorite toppings are bowls of bowels.
God, that's revolting.
Not as off-putting as anchovies. I'm not a fan of anchovies, so you almost have a point. Kendra says emotions are weakness. Buffy says her emotions give her power. I agree with this. Fragility and feelings are not the same as weakness. I think it's actually the opposite. Buffy's got it right.
I agree. Feelings do fuel us. Having specific things worth fighting for can help us focus our strength.
Buffy taunts Kendra to demonstrate that anger gives one fire and ammo. Bianca Lawson has said that she hated her accent. She got cast in the part, which didn't originally have an accent. The night before shooting, she was asked about a Jamaican accent. She said she didn't have a chance to get comfortable with it. Sarah improvised the line where she talks in Kendra's accent. So it cuts back to the scene in the bedroom, Dru swaying in between Angel's thighs. The censors kept that in. I like how David watches the holy water at the top of the scene. It makes pretty colors. This introduces threesome dynamics. It's jealousy again. Angel taunts Spike with references to our past sexual experiences and what Dru likes. Verbal feathers and razors.
Dru, you did have a wicked glint in your eye.
Thank you. I decided to pick up Miss Edith. I always look for contradictions. I don't like to come at things straight on, as people don't come at things straight on. People often think one thing while saying another, or behave in a contradictory manner to what they're saying. Here their sexual exploits are being brought up, which produces a palpable flirtation between Dru and Angel. I growl and to be continued.
The missing scene that could have been in this week's episode.
Kendra audition, September 1997.
I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. I don't hug.
I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. I don't hug. I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. I don't hug.
Yo, I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. I don't hug.
I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. I don't hug.
Next.
Like I'm so Kendra, the vampire slayer. Grody. Like nada on hugs.
Next.
Hey y'all, I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. On hugs. Yeah, I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. You know what? I don't hug. I am Kendra, the vampire slayer. I do not hug.
Next.
I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. I don't hug.
Next.
I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. I do not embrace. 9.
Oh my god. Anybody else? Bianca Lawson?
Let's get ready to Buffy.
Vengeance Val was the victor in our first inaugural Battle of the Uber Buffy fans. If you would like to challenge her title and be considered as a contender for this season's battle, please email revampedpod@gmail.com. Yes, be sure to include your name, where you weigh in with your number of watch-throughs, where you're located, something interesting about you or something you think would be good to share.
And your social media handles.
Yes, woo. Woo-hoo. Boop-boop-be-Dru. Revamptees, please correspond with me on our Patreon page, Revamped with Juliet Landau, on Twitter, @Juliet Landau, on Instagram, @Juliet_Landau, and on the Fans of Juliet Landau Facebook group, or Juliet Landau official Facebook page. Patreon peeps to be read in the credits: Dave Hall, Fawny June Kendall, Daniel Harbour, Louise Brennan, Brandon Key, Cameron Burton, Donnie Ruskin, Madeline Pruitt, Marion Stevenson, Antonio H. Gutierrez, and Bobby Pelham. It makes all the difference because we cannot keep making the show without you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Until we meet again.
See you next time when we do it again. Do it again. Until then, rewatch, revamp, reinvent, and be remarkable you.